where equality is just another euphemism for mediocrity, where participation is more highly valued than achievement, where just enough to get by is the new standard of excellence. There is a small minority of people who fight back against such apathy, who struggle daily to reach new heights. These brave few are the hope for the future, the bright shining light for the next generation. They are the ones who will lead us to the places we have never dreamed of, to the undiscovered country, to reach goals only a few can even begin to imagine. Unfortunately, none of those people could be here tonight, so kick back and relax. Prepare yourself for several hours of fun, friendship, fascinating conversation, and fabulous music. Although Zeph sets an alliteration and kind of a radio trick. Speaking of radio, you're listening to the most popular radio station in the history of broadcast radio, at least among stations that originate from Chris's living room. It's Curious Times. Your host is Curious Listener. Here she is.
Yay! Hey everybody, welcome to Curious Times. It's Saturday night, August 25th. Holy crap, September, October, November, and December. You have got 4 calendar months to get your you-know-what kind of shopping done. And I'm not allowed to say the C word until at least fall, and so, so there you go. We have Corrine DeWinter here tonight, and then we're off until next Thursday or Friday, depending on Salva, which night she's going to be here. It just worked out that way, and so that's going to be a break for me, I guess, and that's nice. Not so good for you guys who are going to have suffering succotash. You'll be suffering. You will be suffering withdrawal. And anyhow, what else is there to say? Not much. Corrine, of course, is the owner of PurplePlates.com, www.purpleplates.com. And you can go over and grab some Purple Plates or other energy products and have a look at some of the cool jewelry that she makes. And as well, I highly recommend the perfume Austera. It's the most amazing smell in the world. It really, truly is. And I can't say I wish I could come with better words even to properly describe that. So, now you guys that are in queue, I got, I don't know, that looks international almost, that crazy number there. And then we have, we have 253. Then that's Dan, and then an 817. So you guys hang tough. We'll get to your readings fairly soon. And first we're gonna. No, I know Dan is 360. I said there's 253, and then there's Dan, and then there's 817. And if I didn't say it that way, well, that's the way I meant to say it. So I totally get that. That's not you. I know your number, man. I got your number, Dan. I got your number. I know your number. Well, when I don't confuse it with Amy's number, of course. But anyway, that's beside the point. Okay, back to Corrine. Go get some stuff over there, you guys. She also runs her own Blog Talk Radio show at www.blogtalkradio.com/supernatural radio show. And she kind of does that in an ad hoc basis, but she always does good shows. And so, well, mostly, I'm just kidding. She always has good, interesting people. Well, she mostly has. There's only one person that she used to have that I didn't really much care for, but anyhow. Other than that, she's had some of the coolest guests, for sure. And I think she has a couple of things planned in the near future. So we'll have to ask her about that. And you can also go and check out her own personal website. And she's an artist and an author, and she's a multi-talented woman, and she does these paintings as well. So She does it all. I don't know how she does all that stuff, but she does. And so anyway, let's just go get her and find out how the heck Corrine DeWinter is doing. Hey Corrine, how you doing?
Okay, where are you going later?
I have something else to do. I'm not necessarily going anywhere.
Okay. I thought maybe you had a job, Chris.
Listen, you guys would be like hearing it loud and freaking clear if I had a job. You know what I mean?
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I had that dream. I told you that you got a job. I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, so I had this guy on my show last night who's a psychogeographer, and I was like, what the hell is a psychogeographer? But it is called, it's a French word that is derive, and it means going off, in other words, going off the beaten path in cities and towns and wherever you happen to be. Anyways, it was just all about, exploring how different places have different energy. It was interesting,
That will be something I'm going to have to check out in archives for sure. What else do you got coming up there?
Well, I have Robert Sharp, and because he put out this book, I don't know if you know about it. It's called The Heart and Soul of Caring, and it's written by 11 caregivers about what they went through in caregiving. So he sort of writes before people's story or after people's stories. He writes a little blurb about it. And so I'm going to have him on and about 4 of the authors that are in the book. So that should be good. I mean, it's so, it's so important that people know that they're not alone when they are caregiving, because it's a very lonely thing. Lonely and extremely strenuous,
Yeah, no kidding.
So I have that
Oh.
and I also have another Dead Rock Star show coming up.
Oh, do you? Good.
Yeah, I'm going to have Sid Vicious, which I can't wait for that. Sid Vicious, John Lennon, and Janis Joplin. So,
Oh, cool.
we'll see what they have to say.
That will be very interesting. Well, we'll see. Well, that'll be interesting anyway. You know what I mean? I did catch that other one in archives.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't want to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So
Like, I can't say, really, you know what I mean? But hey, at least somebody told you that Kurt Cobain didn't get killed by his girlfriend.
Oh, I know. And so the last show I did, we did Kurt Cobain, Jim Morrison, and Elliott Smith. And so Kurt was kind of snarky. But anyway, yeah, he definitely didn't get killed by Courtney. He says he killed himself and said a bunch of other things. And the funniest thing during this show was when I was talking to Kurt, she's like, she goes, Kurt's got 2 people with him. And I said, who are they? And she goes, one of them on his right is Nick, and the other one is William. So I said, who's Nick? And she said, he's saying it's a friend of his from high school who died young. I said, okay. And so then I went on, and she goes, wait, he's saying you're not going to ask who William is? And I go, okay, who's William? So Kurt says, only the greatest author that ever lived. I go, is it William Burroughs? And she goes, I don't know. He's holding up a paperback of Naked Lunch. I go, oh my God, William Burroughs. It was so cool. So of course I had to talk to Burroughs a little bit. And Burroughs, I said, is Kurt happier there than he was here? He sounds miserable. So William Burroughs says, "Oh, he's fine. He's just a drama queen." It was really funny. But anyways, if you know who William Burroughs is, the guy was basically crazy, and he wrote really kind of crazy stuff. And he's got a history. So if you look up William Burroughs, you know who I'm talking about. But I just was thrilled that he came through too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So what else you got on the go?
Well, let me tell you about Jim Morrison on this show. So,
Okay.
Jim Morrison, I couldn't wait to talk to Jim Morrison. So anyway, he was actually hitting on me. And I was like, so Myrna goes, "This is so funny that this dead guy's hitting on you." I go, "That's the only guys that do hit on me."
Well, at least you're getting something. A little something.
Exactly. But they all said such interesting things, like so poetic and philosophical about the other side and about their lives here. And it was just really cool. So I decided that I'm going to do a book on these dead rock stars. I'm going to do a transcription of the shows, and of course I'll write a little bit about each star beforehand. But I think that it would be good. My father suggested that I do that. You know what I mean? Which I think is a really good idea. So I'm going to do that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, I'd buy that book. You know?
Yeah. For sure. When is Robert on?
He is on September 7th at 8:00. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. And I talked to Barbara DeLong today for a while, actually. And so I'm going to have her on. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but I'll figure something out. She can talk about a million different things. But,
yeah. There's never going to be a shortage. Never going to be a shortage or a problem finding something interesting to talk with her about.
But she was researching the guy who's coming up on my show, the America's Most Experienced Mystic, the chick that we were talking about the other night. And she found out more things about him. And she was telling me, that's why she called me, to tell me. I go,
interesting.
I said, I don't know what you want, what I should do. I said, I think I'm just going to give him a chance. And because I can interview anybody. I love to interview anybody. But if the person really doesn't have much to say, then that's another story. But anyways, whatever. So anyways, she goes, "Well, I'm going to be there listening." I said, "Okay, maybe you can call in and talk to him." You know what I mean? But whatever.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. That's interesting.
But so what's going on with you? What's new with you?
Nothing at all is new with me, other than I'm dog tired and cranky.
Oh. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of the Seth book, like Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts?
No, I don't really like Jane. I think that's the one I don't like.
Okay, tell me. All right, tell me what you know about it, because when I was little, my mother had this book, and I thought it was like The Exorcist, because she's on the cover of it, and she's in trance, and she looks a little bit horrific. So I always thought it was a scary book about possession and that, like, exorcist type, but I was apparently wrong. And so I've been reading the book, and it's quite interesting. Now, this was in 1971, I believe, but there's a lot of people that swear by this, and then other people say that the whole thing was a hoax. But I'll say this, if it was a hoax, she did a pretty goddamn good job of it, you know what I mean, of putting out information and stuff. So, I don't know. But so do you think you know who she is, Chris?
Well, is that the, like, let me just be clear. Is this the woman that has the really wackety teeth and, the husband that's heavily involved in her work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that at all. Never have been. Never have been. And so many people, that I know, give it credibility and all, and I just can't. Like, to me, I just feel like that I think the husband is manipulating it all. Personally, that's my feeling.
Yeah, I mean, she had a lot of mental issues, and she had been really abused as a youngster. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I mean, and plus she was a writer and author, a science fiction author. So, when someone's an author like that, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to gauge,
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't know. And I have nothing except, I can only go on my gut feeling about that. Like, I do believe that there are some people that can do that are doing legit trance channeling and all that, right? But, like, to me, that husband turned something into, like, a total gravy train.
Right.
And, I don't know, I remember it goes back to when I was quite young, and I saw this on, I don't know if they were on a talk show or some other show that I saw. And I was like totally, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Not on board with it.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't even know. It's a huge book. I don't think I'm going to finish it, but I'm just kind of flipping through it. But, I mean, it's good information. It's kind of the information that everyone shares now that, like, runs the circuit, like, every freaking 10 years, you know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people were inspired by that or got a lot from that. I mean, there's a lot of famous psychic mediums that say that she's the reason that they, got into it in the first place. So who knows, you know what I mean? Oh, but so let's talk about, I'm so sad. I got so sad. I was just crying a whole bunch about John McCain. And, I mean, I think when I kind of had this really endearing feeling for him was when, remember that late night vote that they did, and he showed up and he did the thumbs down, and they needed his vote. The Republicans needed his vote to abolish Obamacare. And so he voted against it at the last minute, and everybody was shocked. Not against it, against
the old
getting
thumbs
rid of it.
down. Yeah, the old thumbs down. That'll live on forever. I know. I was sad by that too, and disgusted with Donald Trump and his whole attitude and words about the man. And I think history will be harsh on Trump for that down the road. Well, on so much really, but the man put up a hell of a fight. You know what I mean, Corrine? And he is quite a remarkable man. And even though, like, I'm not I'm not in alignment with much that the Republican Party would be in favor of, he did the right thing, on a lot of things. Like, I truly believe he's one of those that is doing the job, for what he like, not for party position, but for what he truly believes. You know what I mean? So many of these guys are proving to be such disgusting hypocrites, right?
Yeah.
And if the other party was doing even 1% of 1% of what Donald Trump has been up to, they would be outraged, impeaching, doing this and that and every other thing, you know? And they're turning down stuff that if it was proposed by their party that they would pass, that they're in agreement with in principle, but they're allowing good stuff to die along party lines, and it's disgraceful. They're not working in the best interest of the people. And that's not why they get elected. You know what I mean? And I think that McCain, if nothing else, McCain was doing things, you know, for what he truly thought was the best, and not on party lines.
Right, I agree. And like so few Republicans are standing up to Trump. And did you know Trump had the rally in West Virginia the other day? They were hearing about John McCain dying. Like they were actually applauding and saying that they were glad he was going to die. You know, these are the kind of animals that he, you know, that are in allegiance to him. I mean, honestly, I would be so embarrassed if I was one of them, you know, or, you know, whatever. That's why I'm like, when I see I love Trump, I don't want to get all into politics here, but when I see I love Trump stickers on people's cars, I'm like, I can't believe that someone doesn't smash this person's window, you know? Because it's just so disgusting to me, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I can't blame anybody, you know, who I think, here's my personal belief, was that I think that he was trying his hardest to hang on until the, you know, the next, until the midterms. And I don't believe that he wants to, because he would then not, like, because they lose his vote one way or the other on the Supreme Court guy, right?
Right.
If he can't be there. And so I kind of feel like that's what he was trying to do, was like that if he had passed away, say, a couple of months ago, then they could have scheduled something to do a replacement for him, hey? And then that would be that. And so
so they'll be missing one Republican vote now, you know?
You know, so I'm pretty sure that it's a percentage of the total, not the total who are voting, if you know what I mean. Right? And so, in which case that's good. And so, you know what I mean? I guess we have to wait and see what happens, really.
Yeah, I know. But it's just a shame. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I kind of, you know, I really grew to love the guy, you know, and I can't explain it. But anyways, it was just very, very sad for me. But he's okay. I'm sure he's fine, you know, but I mean, too bad, because we need other people in government that have some balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, you know, like, I have a lot of respect for somebody, even if they're disagreeing with something that I would want or what. If they're doing it because that is their true feelings, then they're doing the right thing. Not just because, you know, not just because they're trying to outdo the other party. Like, that's not working for the people. That's what disgusts me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's pretty apparent that they don't give a flying F on for anyone but themselves, and lining their own pockets over and over and over again. You know?
Yeah. It's and that's right. You know what I mean? Like I said before, like, poor Jimmy Carter, you know what I mean? Had to sell his peanut farm for crying out loud, like, way back, and he wasn't going to be doing anything corrupt. And, like, you can't even, like, you know what? It's just so deep that you could not even, like, any one thing that this guy has done would have been the news cycle for 3 months if that was Obama.
Right.
And there's been 100 things. There's been more than 100 things.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
it's that disgusting.
Mhm.
And so
And
I just don't. These people are not. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Well, it's just that these people are not doing the work. They're not working for the American people. It's that simple, and it's so sad. It's sad for me to watch that. You know. Because I believe in the process where we elect people to represent us. And, you know, to watch it be so badly bastardized is just outrageous. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it is. It's disgusting. Yeah, yeah. So sad. Even the news people, like, I watch the nightly world news. I like to watch the BBC news, but that channel doesn't really come in. But anyway, but they say, like, you know, for the 24th time, Trump was caught in a lie, and I mean, I'm sure he's spouted off many more lies than 24. But I mean, it's like they don't hold back on it. You know what I mean? Like, a news person's not supposed to be. They're supposed to be impartial, but you can tell that they're like disgusted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I love, you know.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, I guess all we can hope is that there's at least some oversight that can be brought in the midterms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, this is going to be a big shake-up, I hope. You know.
Yeah, without oversight, it's done. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I mean, if you can't get rid of the guy, like, I mean, these people are not even being allowed to subpoena.
Right. Right. I know. I don't get it. And exactly, like Sherry just said, if Russia's still out there, how do we trust our election process? I say, and they already they said no way to this, paper ballots only. That's the only way we can ensure this, and that's not going to happen because they're not going to let it happen. Yeah. So they might as well just say Russia can screw with us all they want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and it's just, now too, like, the inside track that they had with the Russians is gone because of this, the Republicans continuing to insist and demand that they get the names of these sources and all of this. It scared the hell out of the people in Russia that were providing information because their lives are on the line. Like, let's not forget who Putin is. Let's not forget that he's reaching out over into the United Kingdom and killing, assassinating people. And so we're going to start insisting that we're going to name the Russian sources or the names of the people that are providing Russian intelligence. It's gross.
Yeah.
You know, like, what, how is anything that they're doing in the interest of national security? And yet they're going to call Canada, or they're going to put in tariffs on Canada because we're a freaking, national security threat. Like, that's crazy.
Oh my God! Crazy. No kidding.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. Jesus. I swear. I don't know what's gonna happen, but like I asked all the dead rock stars what they thought of it. You know, it was kind of funny. But anyways, because I wanted to know, But anyways, so we just got to see. Now the midterm election should be a turnaround, and I hope to God it is. And then we just got to keep, and it's like, I was talking to this woman today, Kathy, that she was my brother's old girlfriend a long time ago, but she's having whatever for her son, and I made these baskets for her. She came to get them, and her husband are so vocal about how bad Trump is and everything. And she goes, I can't, I just can't be quiet about it. I said, we should not be quiet about it. We should not be quiet about it. What? And you know what I mean? Because we already are silenced in so many ways here. I mean, I'm not saying but I mean, look at, he's punishing, who did something recently that he's like decided to punish them by doing something? Do you know what I'm talking about? Because, it wasn't Mueller. I can't remember. But anyways, the point is that all of these freedoms are on the line as far as I'm concerned. And, I don't put it past Putin to, I see an umbrella in someone's future. You know what I mean? Like with the poison at the end of the umbrella. Yeah. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's
anyway.
and can you even imagine, like, that somebody like Hillary or Obama would sit there with their arm around Putin and say how awesome he is? That anyone else would have gotten away with that?
No way.
Anybody?
No way.
Are you kidding me right now? Like, this feels like the most psychedelic acid trip, like that none of this can be real, right? Like, this is just a dream, right? Like, this is not anything that's really happening. Any one of these things, and I just don't know. Like, it's like, this is worse than the Jonestown Kool-Aid thing. Like, this guy's, Kool-Aid is stronger than frickin', seriously. Like, I don't know what the hell. And, what's it gonna take? I mean, I can't even begin. I can't. So,
but
anyway.
I love what's happening though with Mueller and
yeah, he's doing his job, But I mean, they have demonized him beyond belief too, but he's what I respect so much about that guy, he doesn't even like make a comment to the media, he's doing his talking through his indictments and through his his court actions, and that's the way it should be.
Right, and Michael Cohen coming out and saying, yeah, he told me to pay Stormy Daniels. You know what I mean? Like, this whole Michael Cohen, oh my God, that was just such a good day that day. You know what I mean?
Well, it was, but I mean, they can spin that and go, wow, they're just, the government is making these people lie by threatening them and their family with jail, and so they're making up lies so that they can, and like, all I'm saying is eventually the truth will, be there, and hopefully people will have learned, but there will be, like, the Trump base, like, they're never, you could have a video of Donald Trump admitting to all of it and they'd call that fake. Like, they're so ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
And I don't even know what to say to that, seriously.
No.
I don't know what to say to that. I can't,
Mary's saying Michael Cohen set up a GoFundMe page.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no kidding, eh? I don't feel like, listen, I have to keep this into perspective. Like, for years, that man bullied and threatened people to do Trump's work for him, eh? And even in that audio tape that is being released, out there, okay? Like, where he's talking, which is the proof that Trump knew about this payment ahead and everything like that, right? He's like such a suck up, that guy, You know what I mean? That fake lawyer guy. Oh, I'm right on time, all over that. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm all over it. Like, he's just like the little puppy dog remember that cartoon that was like the big bulldog and then the little chihuahua or whatever, and the little chihuahua would bounce back and forth and like try to get the approval of the big dog all the time. Like, I can't remember what cartoon that was, but like that's what that reminded me of. So, and I've heard some of the tapes, the audio tapes of this Cohen doing his dirty work, and he has, so he doesn't get a lot of sympathy from me, but he's doing the right thing right now for the wrong reason, because believe me, if he wasn't facing all of this jail and everything like that, you know what I mean, like he wouldn't be doing the right thing. It's that simple,
Exactly.
But at least.
But there's corroborating evidence that Michael Cohen's telling the truth. Like there's more than.
Oh no, he's not. Oh yeah, no, he's telling the truth. I don't. But he's just doing it for the wrong reasons. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wish he was telling the truth because it was the right thing to do, and not because it was his last effort, And then the other guy, what's his face there? He's disgusted me, Paul Manafort or whatever his name is, yeah?
Yeah.
Like, he's totally hanging in there, and he's expecting the pardon. And, so the beautiful thing is going to be that, timing-wise, you know what I mean, that Trump will pardon him, and then he'll just get nailed by the state courts. You know what I mean? And true justice would be like, let's say that he was going to get sentenced to 10 years in federal court, in federal prison, right? True justice following a pardon would be that the states sentence him, like the state itself and whatever other states that he committed crimes in, that they sentence him to like 30 years. You know what I mean? That would be like, there's your pardon. There's your pardon. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you could have just told the truth, and you could have cut a real sweet deal for yourself too, but you thought you were banking on your pardon, on your buddy to pardon you. And you know what I mean, and so that would be the just desserts for that activity, really, But he's a disgusting piece of crap, in my opinion. You know what I mean? I just like all of these guys, like drain the swamp. Are you kidding me? Like these guys have made the swamp a billion times deeper and worse. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so. Anyway, I know it's not good for my blood pressure either, so we won't talk about it. Let's take some calls. We got lots of people lined up for calls, so why don't we do that then, Corrine, okay? And I'm gonna scoot somewhere in the middle. I'm not gonna interrupt your call or anything like that, and we'll just leave you guys to it. And so let's go and find out who is let's do 253. Let's find out who's 253. Hi, who's that?
Tamara.
Hello. Before I actually get Corrine with you on your reading, because Corrine's readings can go quite a bit of time. So Corrine, you got 3 other people waiting, so that you know that much. And then the thing is that you guys that are on the telephone, did you say it's Tamara?
Yes.
Okay, when Corrine's done yours, you can mute your phone call by pressing the 1 button on your phone. You want to give that a try right now?
Okay.
So press 1. Yep, now you're muted. Now press 1 again.
Okay,
and now,
back.
Good, and now you're unmuted. So that's how that works, you guys. So 36063, oh, that's Amy. 817. So when it's your turn, just press the 1 button and say hello and introduce your name, okay? I know Dan is at 360. I think unless he was joking, he wants a reading, so you can let me know in chat there, Dan. And so after this one, we're going to ask 817 to unmute, and then Dan can go third. So now I will shut up. Thank you for calling in. How did you hear about the show?
I've been on it prior.
Okay, I kind of thought
and I'm part of the group.
Oh, you're part of the group. Part of the group.
Corrine.
A groupie.
Yeah.
She's a groupie.
Exclusive.
Okay, I'm not even part of the group, so I'll just let you people that are part of the group talk with each other then. Okay, Corrine, you're on.
Okay. Hi, Tampa.
Hi, Corrine. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Good. Hanging in there.
Good, good. So what's going on? I remember you were trying to sell your house.
Still trying to sell the house.
Did you bury the statue in the yard?
I did. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Good.
Still having relatively the same feedback. I did have one family that was very interested, but they have to get their house up. And her sister lives a couple blocks away, so they're trying to, move in the same area. But it seems to me like they aren't being financed at my level. So my agent has very aggressively this week tried to get me to bring my price down, which she did also a week ago, and I said absolutely not because I've already dropped, and I'm not understanding why you're so adamant about the drop. But now when she says that they're still working on financing after 2.5 weeks, you know your financing level. To me, it's not my first time.
Right. So you don't want to drop it anymore at all?
No, and I've told her that, and she gets very upset because the market's going to go up for 7 years, and she wants to know what my plan is. And my plan is and she doesn't understand why I haven't found anywhere else, but the prices are so high right now, I can't see paying for something that I feel is way overpriced, not going to get long-term out of it. So I'd rather just sit on it for a bit or hold out. She's upset, I think, because I haven't found something that's kind of a twofold sale. But to me, $300,000 I can't explain it, but for something that's not worth it to me, going to have a lot of money dumped into it. I'd rather invest my money and wait it out. But looking at prices of rent, I kind of can't beat my rate I'm paying here right now for my mortgage. But I did ask the spirits to help me pick the new family. We talked about that last time. I think they may like this family because after the conversation with my realtor on Thursday, the house became restless in different ways where things weren't slamming but things were clinking, and I actually, when I got home that day, thought somebody was in my house upstairs because you could hear them moving around and moving things, and it happened. I heard it in different rooms, and I was like, what is going on? And didn't think anything until I heard it too much, and then I went and checked, and nobody was actually here. But my friend actually heard it later that day, voices, talking, and music playing, and we go look, and there are certain places in the house where if people are walking down the street, you can hear them talking, but not in the places that we were at when we heard them talking. So I can't make rhyme or reason of that, but I'm still kind of stuck in the vortex here.
Okay. Well, remember we talked about you speaking out loud to them and just kind of saying, you can stay, but just if you must be here, just be quiet and don't be, you know what I mean? Did you contact anyone like I think I suggested it, I can't remember. But did you contact, say, Renee or somebody like that?
Yeah, I do actually have an appointment set up with Renee.
Oh,
I think
good.
the 7th of September. Because I'm not understanding. My son thinks that they want me to stay here for some reason, but then when I get into the conflict with the agent, and it came down to the point where she was not going to strong-arm me, but I said, frankly, for the price I pay to be here, I just need to find a job, and I can cover the expenses, and then maybe get a roommate or something, because it is a big house for me. I'd rather have a family move in it. But if I can't find that family, I'm not going to take a big loss because she feels that she needs the income from it. Do you see?
Yeah, right.
I'm just getting the feeling that she has a buyer if I drop that price, and that's why she's so animate about it.
Well, what is stopping you from getting another realtor?
I'm locked in a binding contract for another, I think 30 days,
Oh,
exclusive. But I told her when she started pushing me, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Well, I'm just going to sit on it for now. I mean, I can't believe that 100 flyers have disappeared out of my box and people drive in the driveway every day that nobody's called you to look at it. There's just something funny with this whole thing I'm not understanding, and how many open houses and showings we have. I do have a lot of competition of brand new houses, and she says people sinking lots of money into it. Well, I've done the same thing over the past 2 years, and I have the yard most people don't have. So you got to find that right person. My house is a little different. It's curvy. It's got build outs. It's got round corners. It's not your square typical cookie cutter house. It's more individual, but not so individual that it'd be like a personal. But when she compares me to houses around the corner that are half my size and no yard, and you've got a cookie cutter and an old one, and then a cookie cutter that matches the other cookie cutter, nobody really wants those. So they haven't sold either. So I told her, you're comparing me and you're pushing me, but they haven't sold either. So what's the point?
right, right. I
So
know.
I know
Like,
the market's diving, and I missed my point in March. I realize that. But actually, when you look at the statistics in the area, she's making it more than what I'm seeing. I'm an accountant. I can look at numbers pretty well. And it is going down, and people do want more. They want granite, and I don't have granite countertops. That's the one thing I didn't redo in the whole house. But
so there's someone in chat asking, Tamara, has she thought of getting an appraisal to see what it is really worth versus what the realtor wants?
well, I
Have you?
did, but that was back in March, and so I'd have to do it again because the prices have come down a bit since then. But I feel what I value it for, and like I said, and for what I can rent something for, and what I'm invested in it, I can maybe just get a roommate. Hopefully, that's the other. I can't find a job. I finally thought I found one, and then they say, well, you know, you don't know our systems. Well, I'm a quick learner. You don't know any system when you start a new company. It was in travel agency, but I've done logistics, which is rail, cargo, steamship lines. I've worked for the Spirit of Washington dinner train and did seating and reservations. It kind of all seems like the same thing to me. So I've looked at another area too. So something's like holding me up, and I just don't get what. Now I
What's
have a
that?
friend. I
Go
have a
ahead.
friend, and he's very helpful. He's got a lot of work going on, and that's the other thing too, is we can't really focus back this way on getting some things ready for another open house or something, because he's kind of tied up, which is great because we need, you know, to survive right now. But not sure where that's going either. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle of, do I do it or do I sit on it, or what do I do?
Okay, so are you totally opposed to Airbnb or renting out some of the rooms or the whole house to other people?
No, in fact, that's what I'm considering, because I have a huge enough bonus room that you could make it into a studio suite, and the only thing you may have to use would be if you got a little microwave and fridge. All you have to use is my oven or stove in the house. You'd be fully incorporated and have your own bathroom in the hall. So that's the next thing I'm looking into, is just finding a roommate and hanging on to it for a bit. But then, like she says, so if I decide to sell and I can't hang on to it in a year, then the market's dropped and I lose. But I don't know if I would lose that much to me.
But I mean, you are near a city, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you could, I mean, with the Airbnb and the, you know, that type of thing, renting it out, it's, you could do that. You could rent out, you're saying roommate. I'm saying people on vacation that need a place to stay, that are visiting the area.
Oh, okay. And so it's okay. I still
But,
live here, though, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
No, I hadn't
they
thought
just,
about that. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, check that out. It's Airbnb. I think it's Airbnb, bnb.com. I think that's the website.
Yeah, I've looked at some things they've had posted before. I just never thought about using it in that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. Well, I use it all the time, but anyways, whatever. So, um, so you're really wondering why this is being delayed?
Yes.
Okay, all right. And like I said to you before, I think that there's a reason that there are spirits there because, you know, as we talked about last time, I believe, I said that, you know, they want you to pay attention. So it's good to have an appointment with Renee because she can zero in on what's happening there and what those spirits are doing. Now, okay, so that's September 7th. Now, you said it's been on the market for 60 days, or what did you say?
I have I was in contract for that, but I think it's been on the market for, at least 47 days now. It's been a while.
Okay. See, I don't consider that a while. I consider that like, you know, and I know what you're saying, like you want to sell it and get going, but I still think that you're being a little bit impatient. You want to get the money, the house is worth what you're asking, then, you know what I mean? I don't think anything, well, you know, you can ask Renee this. She's way better at that than I am, obviously. But you can ask her if there's something, you know, preventing you from moving, and if something has to be cleared out there. I just feel tomorrow like you have to be just a little tiny bit more patient about it. I think it's going to sell. You know, I mean, if I was to give you a timeline, I'd say in the next 3 months. Just, you know, if you know where you're going to go after this.
No, that's the thing, and that's why she's pushing me, because she doesn't understand why I haven't found a place. Because I'm not going to pay the prices right now, and then I look at rent, and I'm like, well, that's really not feasible. So then I'm just sticking here with what I pay, because actually this is much more manageable right now where I'm at. And so it's not I'm not being patient. She's trying to push me to be impatient, and I'm not going to let her, because I'm right now, I have had so much work to do to get this place ready. It's crazy, and right now it's almost there, so I'm feeling a little bit of relief, and it is uncomfortable, people going through your house all the time. It is what you go through when you're selling, but I don't understand what's going on with her and her impatientness. I realize she wants to make money, but she wants to drop. And it's like, no, we agreed on this way up here, and I realize it was March and things changed, but I'm not seeing the change she's telling me. Do you see the relevance?
Yes, I do. Yeah. She sucks. It sounds like she sucks. And you have 30 days left with her. And she's probably breaking the rules in some manner. It sounds like she is, and I don't know if you want to get into all that. But anyways,
Well, I
the
have called
point
them
is,
and asked them if I can fire her because I've had enough of
and what did they say?
7:30 in the morning. No, because I'm under exclusive contract. Also, I asked if I could put it on the market myself because I thought I could market it better than her. Because I'm like, I just don't believe that her signs, you can't see them. Everybody I know that's tried to find this place, when I told them I'm selling, come take a look, can't even find the signs, and they're like gray and white. Well, you need something red and white or blue and white, something that pops out at people. Open house.
Yeah.
Well, and then my friend, too, when he got home the other night, I told him, I said, it's been a little rambunctious around here since I talked to the realtor. Not sure if it's correlated, but kind of a day. And then a couple hours later, he goes, I feel you. And I go, what? He goes, I heard him talking. I go, do you think they're talking about the issue that's going on of me trying to decide and people getting financing? Because I don't think it's fair to me to say, well, they're not financed at your level, so you should settle. That's what I feel she's saying to me.
Right. Yeah, that's not cool at all.
Well, and here's the thing too: is this guy was bipolar the other night, and I snapped a bunch of pictures. It was gray, and then it was sunshiny, and then it was gray, and then I looked at the pictures, and I'm like, holy crap! And I sent him to Penny Eddy, who you've talked to, I know. And I sent them to a couple other friends. And I go, what do you see? And they're like, oh, I see blue sky, gray sky, blue sky. I go, do you see something on the left? And they're like, no. And Penny goes, holy crap, Tam, do you see what's in the left corner? And I said, Penny, why are we the only ones that see that? So I wonder, like you said, they want me to acknowledge, obviously, I can feel them, I can hear them, I can see them. But what is it they want from me?
Well, I think that you're going to find that answer out when you speak to Renee. And if they want you to move them on, she can help you do that, obviously. You know what I mean?
She's done it. She's done that before with a little girl and this little prankster, and we had that all cleared out. So now I got like a whole new set.
Well, then you actually probably are in a vortex.
Well, she thinks there might be a portal at my back door in which somebody else thought that too.
Oh my God, that's all you need, a portal. I got one in the room I'm sitting in right now. I don't know who's coming through, but it ain't Mick Jagger. Anyways, talk to her. You got 30 days left with this lady. If after 30 days the house doesn't sell, after you don't change the price, you're not going to change the price. It doesn't sell. Get rid of her and get somebody that you know and like. You know, who's going to actually do a job.
Well, I liked her in the beginning, and I liked my realtor last time I sold too. But in the end, you hate them because they become your enemy because they're after what they need. It's a tough business. I get it. She actually tried to give me a job, and I considered it and thought I could do the training with her. And then after dealing with this with her, I'm like, no, you're not, like I told her, I'm not ready. And people don't want to see this. And that's the feedback I got. The carpet's not in. This is not done. This is not finished. She didn't listen to me. She made me list it anyhow because time was running out on the market. And I get that, but I wasn't ready. So when you list when you're not ready and you're dealing with brand new homes, you can't win.
Right.
Now I'm ready, but see, I've listed, so nobody wants to come look anymore because I've been on the market so long, and they say, well, that house wasn't done, or you know what I'm saying. But she drove me to that point.
Right. I hear you. It sounds like, to me, Tamara, it sounds like the spirits aren't the problem, the realtor is. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me. I mean, I don't think that they're preventing you from selling the house necessarily. They might be there indeed, but I don't think that they're preventing it, you know?
The feedback I get is the house smells like smoke. I have painted the entire house. Okay, one night we painted the huge bonus room upstairs at 10 o'clock at night. At 10 o'clock in the morning, we put in brand new carpet, and the viewers walked in on the open house and said they smelled nothing but smoke in that room. Nobody smokes in this house. We've never smoked in this house.
Right,
right.
Right.
And that's what we keep getting is feedback on smoke in the bonus or in the master suite. I'm like, what? And then now they're saying smoke in the bonus room. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? And smoke in the hall bathroom. I said, why is smoke being smelled now after a month from two different areas? What is going on? First of all, they'd walk through my door, smell smoke, turn around and walk out. One couple walked in, smelled smoke, walked out. I'm like, they can't smell smoke. I had a cleaning agency come in and we cleaned the whole house.
Do you smell the smoke?
No. But I'm a smoker, but I don't smoke in the house, and I smoke way out in the yard because of the complaints, and have never smoked in the house. And besides that, everything's been repainted. All the floors have been redone. The cabinets have been sanded down and redone. So
does the realtor smoke, and does the realtor smell the smoke too?
She says she only smokes when she's drinking, but a friend of mine said maybe she's lying to you, and she smokes in her car, and when she comes in and she's showing your house, these people are walking behind her and they're smelling it. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, that could be. I said, but other than that, all my filtration systems have been redone. The HVAC is all brand new because of all the remodeling and the sanding of the floors. So there's no reason.
Why don't you tell the realtor, if you want to sell this place, and anytime somebody says they're smelling smoke, just tell them that it's from her. She just had a cigarette.
That's a good one I hadn't thought about.
Like, whether she has or hasn't, if she wants to make the commission and sell the damn place, then she should be willing to lie about it.
Well, the third comment I got on that, I called her out. I said, that's bull crap. I said, there's no frickin' way that, well, the one day we were weed eating in the front and they showed up almost an hour early. So they came through the front door, and of course the weed eater smelled like smoke. So I get that, and it wasn't smoke, that would be like gas. But you showed up an hour early, so can't help that. So I disregarded that one. But the next three where they smelled smoke, and then it was always certain areas, and then the new one with the two new areas, I was like, okay, that's wrong. You cannot smell, even if I smoked in there, I painted the room and I put new carpet in, you would not smell smoke over that. And the windows have been open all night from the painting.
Well, and it's like I said to you before, and here's the problem is, if you're a smoker, you do not smell it. Okay?
Yes.
And so, as I said before, it's on your coats, on your clothes, on your, you know what I mean, even if you don't smoke inside the house. And so, that's why I'm asking, like, if your realtor is a smoker or not, can they smell it? Because if the realtor's a smoker, then I can't rely on their nose to tell me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it might not be like the house itself at all. It could just simply be, that's why last time I asked you, like, where's your coat, you know, where do you people hang your coats and stuff like that? Because to me, having been a smoker before too, when I would smoke outside, the smell of smoke was stronger on me than when I smoked inside. I don't know why that is, but I can always tell when somebody has smoked outside a lot quicker than if they smoked inside. You know what I mean?
It's a funny thing. I can too, yeah.
And so that's the thing is, you know, then I go like, so is somebody who's smoking outside, you know, doing work, you know, like, I mean, is that getting into your clothes much worse than it would be if you were smoking inside or what? Like, I don't understand it, but you need to get the opinion, you know, you can't rely on your nose. And you can't rely on your realtor's nose.
Okay, so here's the thing. We got an ionizer.
All that aside, yeah, I have one of those too. But
yeah,
I mean,
that's ridiculous.
All that aside, you got to find like 3 different people that are non-smokers that don't live with smokers that like
did that too.
And
they
so
smelled nothing. They smelled nothing. Nope, they smelled free breeze, they said one day. One person said they smelled lemon. They smelled the new carpet. They smelled paint. Nobody smelled smoke anywhere. I said, walk through my whole house. Just walk around. Just mingle. Do you smell anything? They smelled nothing.
Well, I don't know what more to say about it. You know what I mean?
Anything they can smoke. Like if they don't like the people.
Tell the realtor like to send her assistant down, or tell the realtor to, if they make a comment about smoking, for her to take the rap on it.
Right.
That's a good one.
Right. Yeah, she should take the rap on it.
Well, really, if you get that scent, is that going to deter you from the highlights of the house? I mean, I might say, oh, God, it smells like smoke. What the heck? But it wouldn't deter me from finishing looking at the house that I'm in. And then say, you know, what can we do about that maybe? But I've never gone to an open house where I've smelled smoke or anything. And I like open houses. I do it often for no reason, just to see the upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
And old houses, too. So, I don't know. That's where I feel like something's, you know, I'm on the Indian ground, and I feel like they've taken hold, and maybe they like these people, and maybe that's the upset, and they want me to come down to that level, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you got to just hold out for the 30 days for the time to come to the end of the 30 days, and then you got to start new with someone else. I don't know, you know, but I'm so glad you have an appointment with Renee. I mean, you're going to get to the bottom of something with that. I feel strongly about that.
I'll look into that Airbnb. And do you get a feeling about my friend and how he's doing with me right now and his work and progression that we're moving on in our relationship? Do you feel anything there?
Well, I felt good about it. I was thinking about it before. I think, I keep saying this to people. Right now is a particularly tough time for a lot of people. Not only planetarily, energy-wise, and a whole bunch of other stuff is going on. But anyways, I think he's doing okay. And I think that you guys are going to be okay. That's how I feel.
Well, before you said he was distant, and he was, so you nailed that. But kind of come around on another level, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I see this guy in your life for a long time. I'm not, Tamara, I'm not sure why I feel this way, but I just don't see him going anywhere, Thanks, Chris.
What?
Chris is leaving. I was just saying goodnight to her.
Oh, I thought you said bankrupt. I'm like, what? That's a breakthrough.
No, I think it's going to be, I really think it's going to be okay. I really do.
We've been through a lot of thick and thin, so I'm just figuring out right now, do I take that loss and move on with everything that's going on, or do I still hang on for a bit?
I would hang on for a little bit if I were you.
Okay, well, I will.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, everyone's going through an upheaval of sorts right now, and you kind of you got to be able to give him a little space, but he's still there in your heart. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I don't see anything major coming between you guys. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
It's been a rough journey, and I'm ready to head on to a new one. Really
Tell me
am.
about. Yeah, I hear ya.
But I will check into that Airbnb because that would be awesome. And my brother-in-law used to come to town, and I don't really have some of the furniture in there that I used to have, but I can do it because it's like an alcove with your bed. You could put, like I said, a whole studio, love seat, TV, and have your own little space in there.
Yeah, that's
great. Set that up easily.
Yeah, that's great.
I
love that.
It's like 900 square feet. It's a huge bonus room.
Oh, wow. Okay, so go look at, Tamara, go look at the houses or spaces that are available in your area and see what they are, what size they are, how much they're asking, so you can get a good idea of that,
On the Airbnb?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you for that info.
Oh, yeah, you could thank Marie. She's the one who mentioned it in chat here, so
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Marie. But listen,
all right, well, I've taken up a lot of your time.
Yeah, but I appreciate you calling in, Tamara, and please update us when something happens, would you?
Yes.
Okay, great. I think it's all gonna work out. Like I read this quote today, and I've read it before. It's like everything's gonna be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. And I love that. Yeah.
Well, that's a good one. I just keep saying I want a new journey because this journey is just keeps going and going and going and wearing me out. Has been fun, but a little over it.
Right. Yeah. So good luck to you. I'm thinking about you, okay?
All right. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, so whoever else is on hold, can you unmute yourself if you would like a reading or you just want to talk or whatever? Because I have no control over this right now. As I have little control over anything, really. Let's face it. In life, we have little control over anything.
So was I next or was I going last?
I don't know if there was anyone else on, Dan. I don't, like there was, I guess another number before yours, but I have no idea if they walked away or hung up or whatever. But okay, so we can talk. Now if anyone else
Okay.
is on, what's that?
Oh, I said okay. We can
Okay.
talk.
So do you, all day I've been thinking, not all day, but since I did my prayers earlier, I got the name Marjorie. Do you happen to know a Marjorie?
Yeah, it's somebody I knew when I was a kid, family member. Trying to remember. I think it's on my mom's side.
Okay. I don't know if this pertains to you. But anyway, okay. So first of all, do you have any questions?
Well, my usual. We have some odd developments at work. We had an operators union go on strike, and that costs our union work because without the operators, we can't really work. So earlier I guess it's still this week, I was told to go ahead and file for unemployment.
Oh,
So I ended up telling them, I got a couple weeks left of unemployment, can't refile till November, and I won't be back if I got to find other work. So they worked me the rest of this week. We'll see what next week it has.
okay. Are you working right now though?
I worked Friday. I don't know what this week's gonna be. I didn't file for
Oh,
unemployment.
okay. And obviously you'd rather be working than getting unemployment, right?
Well, yes,
Okay.
definitely. And usually it's a winter thing when they do maintenance on the plants and equipment, and we're off maybe a couple weeks to a month.
Mhm. Right.
Usually between
Uh,
Thanksgiving and Christmas, somewhere in there.
so isn't there another company around your area that does the same, almost exactly the same thing as you guys do there, as where you're at now?
Yeah, but they're affected too. There's a couple of non-union outfits that are smaller, way smaller scale. They don't do the highways, state routes, or do anything with the federal highways. Or like a city, if they're lucky, usually driveways, like commercial property, parking lots, things like that. But nothing like what I'm used to.
Okay. I almost feel like the place you're at now, for some reason, it's not gonna be what you like. It's not gonna end. I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm saying that, but
You mean the strike's not going to end, or I'm going to be working there and not going to end?
working there, it's not gonna end.
Oh.
Now this. All right. So all right. I'm a little cloudy on this. So there's a strike going on there right now?
Yeah, it started with the crane operators in Seattle doing all the heavy construction, and the crane operators in the Port of Seattle and Port of Tacoma. They're in the operators union, and all of our operators are in the same union, the ones that operate heavy equipment, everything from dozers, rollers, excavators, paving equipment. They're all in the same union. So they're basically on strike too.
Okay. So are you part of that? Are you part of that?
I'm not part of the union, that union. I'm Teamsters. They're operators. It's affecting our workload though. I mean, it's non-existent at this point. It's unless we get some private jobs opening up. But yeah, we do
Yeah.
housing developments, those cookie cutter housing developments that do the dirt work
Yeah.
and driveways and concrete and stuff for that.
Right.
We might have
So
a few of those open.
okay. I don't know. I just see you staying at that place and working. I don't know why, but is it Is there somebody at your workplace with a K name? Like last name
Yeah.
or first name K?
First name, she's a driver.
Okay. I don't know. I just see you, I see you hanging on and being willing to work, and you're saying the strike is really affecting your own work, and you don't see the strike ending anytime soon, right?
Yeah, they had a meeting on Thursday and it doesn't look like they're going to come to a resolution anytime soon. I think it's 6 weeks the federal mediators come in, and it's by that time it's going to be winter and we won't be able to do anything.
Right, right.
Well, some stuff.
I see that happening before too long. I don't see it going on. Okay, thank you, Amy. I don't see it going on that long, Dan. I see like a resolution. It looks like there's not going to be a resolution, but I think there is going to be one in the next week and a half or 2 weeks. And that's why I think I see you still there doing what you're doing. Of course I could be wrong. What are the chances, right?
Oh.
um, so this K woman, is she, you guys talk about this stuff, or is she she's not part of the, strike, is she?
No, she's in the same union I'm in. We had a union meeting of our union probably 3-4 weeks ago, and we all had breakfast together and discussed our contract. It's up for negotiation.
Okay. Do
Doesn't
you
have
have a
anything to
crush?
do with it.
Do you have a crush on her, Dan?
No. No, I do not.
Okay, just checking.
God. With a coworker? That's just a bad thing.
Well, it's not unheard of, but anyways, no, I think that things are going to work out, and you're going to keep working there. That's what I feel. I don't know. I don't see you having to go off and find something else. I really, I don't know. I just don't feel that. Well, you got to let me know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. I mean,
Definitely.
I think that, this strike that's going on, I mean, they're all talking big and they're going to, hold out, and I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't think that's going to happen. Like I said, I could be wrong, but that's how I feel. I see you at the same place, staying there until the end of the season. Whenever that is. You said a few weeks or months or whatever,
Yeah, it might be right now. Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, okay, so I say give it another week and see what happens. Just see, if you're called back, see, and then if nothing happens in the next week, then obviously, you got to try to find something else, although it sounds like the other company's in the same spot that's, relative to the one you're working in,
yeah, definitely. Everybody's slow. I bet you
Yeah.
cleaned up
Yeah.
though since the port's not running.
So there's no other companies you can think of that are going ahead and doing what needs to be done besides the two that you mentioned, the one you're at and the other one?
Yeah, the others are non-union, and that doesn't give me anything towards my retirement. And with
No,
our
don't.
contracts
Yeah.
being up,
Well,
if I work for another company, I'll miss out on any retro pay I get. So that's another
okay.
thing to take into consideration.
Right. However, if you need the money now, if you're going to need another job and you're going to need the money now, don't worry about the freaking union. Because nothing's set in stone. You don't have to stay there forever either, Dan. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I think. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be there for years and years and years. You're going to be there to make the money that you need while you need to. Because if you did have to leave your current job, if you tried to come back when they were set up again, would you be able to get that job back?
If I get back there within a year, I keep my seniority. So unless they change that in the contract this year when our contract's up. But yeah, it's right now as it sits, I should be able to come back and keep my seniority.
Okay, good. Okay. So it'll definitely be before a year passes, I think. Yeah, just don't worry about it right now. Because at the very worst, Dan, you're going to be on social, whatever it is, the unemployment. And, yeah, and you just suck it up and go rest and go metal detecting.
Yeah, maybe they'll find that emerald.
That's right. I keep thinking about that damn emerald. But yeah, and I also feel like, and I know, right, yeah, all right. I know, like you said, you're close to the Emerald City, which is Seattle, right? But I don't know why I keep seeing this emerald that you find. But anyway, it's not going to be too bad, even if you have to go on unemployment. Is my point here. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't even think it's going to get to that. I'm telling you right now. You're very worried right now, and I understand that, and maybe I would be too, but it's going to work out. I think it's going to work out,
Yeah, just tough going from 50, 60-hour paychecks to junk. Yeah, it's a tough adjustment and unprepared for it. I was thinking, at least another 2-3 months and a little time off and then back at it, but who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
But
Well, don't stress about it, man. I know it's hard not to, but don't stress about it, because like I said, I don't think it's going to get to that, quite frankly.
yeah. So you can't tell if Tamara's still on the phone, right?
Tamara, are you still here? I doubt she is. Tamara, if you're still here, can you unmute?
I'm
Probably
here.
not. Oh, hey,
Good
Tamara.
there. Hey, so I got a question. Is your car parked out in front and do you smoke in your car? These
No,
people might just be assuming that you're smoking in the house. Okay.
I don't smoke in the car.
Okay, had to ask. I figured these people just might be assuming.
It's a mystery, I know.
I had to ask. And were you working, had anything to do with the dinner train back in 97?
Not in 97, no.
Okay. That's the questions I had for you. That was it. I know it sounds weird,
Because
but I'm a weird guy.
he's in your area, Tamara.
Oh. Well, if you took the train
That's
in 97, that's awesome, but I worked on the train in 96,
oh,
might have been 97, because then I started my new job in 98 in Tacoma. So I might have been there in 97.
no, I work in Tacoma. Oh, but 97, you should be able to remember it because they found something along the tracks that should stick in your memory. Rolled up in a carpet.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Mm-mm. Okay.
was it a body?
I didn't take
Yes,
the
it was.
train. I didn't ride the train. I was the customer service manager. So just like
Oh, gotcha.
hiring and training in the reservationist area.
Testing the wine and all that, right? Oh. Oh, a joke.
No, I only rode the train sometimes on the weekends, but I didn't work on the train. I was in the office.
Okay. I was just curious because you mentioned the dinner train and kind of jumped
Yeah.
out at me there.
That
So
sounds cool, though.
now I'm curious, what'd you find on the track?
Oh, I didn't find it. It was just somebody on the train found a rolled up carpet with some feet sticking out of it.
Oh, holy cow. Oh, I didn't hear about that.
And the guy that killed that woman killed a friend of mine
Wow.
like a month or two later. So yeah, it's
Gee.
yeah,
That's
and it's
quite the dinner train.
yeah. So when you say dinner train, it kind of jumped out at me there. I went, huh? Did you work there? Yeah, it was
Pretty uneventful for me.
awesome.
Thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is. It is. It is really weird. It is. And my wife and I went out to dinner today and sitting there, and I saw a person walking up. Thought they cut between the cars. Were sitting by a window in a booth, and I get right next to the window, and I kind of glance over and just like the person was a dark figure that kind of swirled to black and blocked out the whole freaking window, which kind of trying to figure out what that was about.
Hmm.
That hasn't.
That happened.
I haven't seen anything odd lately, and I like it that way.
Mm.
No.
Well,
So
when did
the
this?
dinner train. This happened a few hours ago in Port Orchard.
Okay.
Yeah, this is probably 2.5, 3 hours ago. Yeah, it kind of
Wow.
startled me because I hadn't seen anything odd for a while, and there's several windows along the front there, and I thought maybe it was related to the dinner train thing, and just trying to figure out who and what that was all about. It might have been just some local just screwing with me, but I don't know. It was just thought, like I said, man, I haven't seen anything, felt anything in a while, and I like it that way. And
Yeah. Well,
kind of a weird thing to happen to me.
besides those crosses on the ground near your truck, right?
Oh, those were sevens, and I figured out it was the clown to the left. Yeah. Or is it the Joker to the left? Ah, whatever.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one to the left. Yeah, that one did it. Yeah. So yeah, I figured that
Okay.
one out. Denied it
Okay.
and
Good.
admitted to it. So yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. So 777. That's what I thought it was. 7777. I don't know. Anyways, that's cool. All right. So let's see, Dan. I'm gonna keep talking to you, but I want to see who 817 is. If they're still on. 817. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Hi. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Hi. You know who this is, don't you?
I do? Oh,
I
wait a
thought so.
minute.
I thought Amy told you.
No.
It's,
Oh, is it?
it's me, your neighbor.
Oh, Alicia.
Yeah. Hi, Celine.
Oh, my God. How the hell are
Hi.
you?
Great. Great. I haven't talked to you on the radio in quite some time.
No, it's been years, I think, actually. Alicia, I looked at a house, like, really, really close to you that's for sale. And I'm like,
Why didn't you come up to my house and come see me then?
because I looked at it online. I didn't actually go visit it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so where is it? Is it in East Hampton or
Yeah,
Southampton or?
it's on Northampton Street in East Hampton.
Oh, it's on my street. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a nice house, but anyways, whatever. We'll talk about that later. I don't know,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah. I'd like to know.
I
Yeah,
guess.
I'd like to know what. Do you know what number it is or?
Shit, I had it written. It's like I know you're 79, and this was like
Yeah.
90 something, I think.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
right there.
Cool.
You know.
Yeah. I'm always walking up and down the street with my dog, so I'd like to see what you're looking at. So.
Yeah. See, if you see the for sale sign out there, you probably see a for sale sign. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So what color is it? It's not pink, is it?
I don't think it's pink. I don't think it's pink. I think
okay.
I don't remember.
Because there's one near me that's pink, and it's quite nice, and I believe that's for sale. I'm trying to think of what other ones are. I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's some others, but we'll chat about that. Yeah, or if you have it, I'd be very interested. The last time I think I talked to you was like 2015 on the show when I called in to ask you about your favorite subject when people call in about their love lives, you know, and I actually thought I'd be a psychic junkie today because I called in. Did you know this beautiful, amazing psychic named Renee Kendall? She has a wonderful show. I don't know if you've ever heard it. Have you ever heard of her, Renee Kendall?
She is horrible, Alicia.
So yes, excuse me, I'm very sick. I have a horrible viral infection of sorts. Anyway, I apologize. My voice is a bit off and so forth. But yeah, I called into her show tonight. I'm the last 10 minutes. I'm the last person who called in, and the other callers, their names were Felicia, Janisha, Keisha, and then Rosie, and she ruined it because her name's Rosie because my name rhymes with theirs. So, but anyway, she gave me a reading. I wanted to ask you. I mean, am I permitted to ask you my question, or, you know, I want a psychic reading here from you. You know, I need to know. I recently met a new gal on August 16th, and I was wondering if you see utter disaster and destruction in my future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I think I saw a picture of you two. Did you put a picture up?
I did.
Okay. Does she, I'm just going to say this, does she know who she is? I mean, does she?
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting question. Tell me more. You seem to be onto something there. Let's, you know, I don't know if you, I mean, yeah. I don't really know. I don't really know. I mean, you can continue. I mean, you might be onto something there. I mean, I can tell you a little, I guess, I don't know, you know, usually with you psychic folks, you know, you don't like to hear the info. So I didn't know if you wanted to just say what you saw or if you wanted me to tell you, but I can certainly give you a little bit of info if that would be helpful. Would that be better, do you think, if I gave you a little bit of info to answer what you just asked me?
Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So sure, I'll give you just a little bit. I mean, this isn't going to ruin anything for you because who knows? Because I'm asking about, you know, what's going to happen down the road, right? So no matter what I tell you, you know, I don't really answer to that. So, okay. So this particular person, I don't know if you remember MySpace from many moons ago, but
Yeah.
It was like Facebook. Yeah. So back in 2005, she and I somehow met on MySpace, and I guess, you know, we used to carry on a conversation, but I didn't know who she was. I didn't know if she was a girl, a guy, who she was, because she never told me her name or anything. Like, it didn't have any information. So I don't know even how, but we became friends, and you know, we used to write each other and stuff, and then I got into the relationship with my ex-wife, and whatever, my ex-wife was kind of jealous of the messages we would write back and forth and stuff, and didn't really want me to carry on, so I stopped. But anyway, I didn't know who this person, I didn't know was, you know, necessarily who it was. I mean, I guess at one point she says that she told me who she was, but I don't think that I believed her that it was, you know, this particular person that she was saying she was. So I always kind of thought, well, maybe it's like some guy in Ireland who's just, you know, or maybe it's some, you know, like I didn't really know because there was no profile pictures or information or, you know, anything. So when you said, does this person know who she is? I think, you know, that could be like, did I know who she was? No. In 2016, I guess she's tried to contact me a few times over the years. And in 2016, she succeeded by writing me a message on Facebook, and she's like, oh, I'm that person that you used to write to, and I was like, oh, you know, hey, you know, and so we talked a little bit. We talked on the phone, and I remember I was, you know, with Shannon at the time, but not, you know, she's still married. So, and I said to this girl that I would be interested in her, and then she just kind of fell off the face of the earth because I think either she maybe started to see somebody or she might have, you know, felt like, oh, well, I was with Shannon, so, you know, obviously she didn't want to do anything about that. So that's the background, but.
Right. Okay.
So we met in person on August 16th.
Okay, that's very cool. So
Yeah.
when I asked that question, it was because Alicia, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I feel like and there's nothing wrong with this, but
No, you're completely right. Yeah.
someone that doesn't really know
Yeah.
who they are, in terms of, like, has like a million questions, like, I don't know where I'm going. Am I doing the right thing? In other words, like
Yeah.
a little
Sure.
fearful,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sure. I think probably yes.
Mhm. But hold on. I don't feel like she has. I don't feel like she has any mental issues or anything like that, though.
Oh really? That's such good news, actually. That's good. That's actually really good news.
Yeah, we gotta look out for
Yeah.
that shit, right?
No, especially with me because I have a history of Shannon was pretty normal but prior to Shannon a whole bunch a whole bunch of losers, Hopefully
Yeah.
JJ won't listen to the show.
Right. Okay, so let me. Are her parents still alive?
Well, one of them's not.
Okay.
She actually got a reading from Renee recently, which I got for her.
Oh, so that went well, I assume,
Oh yeah,
right?
of course, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So she's open-minded, obviously.
Yeah, she's open-minded, but she's skeptical but open-minded. I'd say more open-minded though than skeptical. I'm skeptical too. I mean, everybody is, but well, not everybody, but I'm not skeptical of Renee. Oh my God, no, though. Not of Renee, obviously.
Right.
Renee Kendall, yeah. Renee Richards, no, she's the best in the world. I worship her and I love her.
I know.
No, I really do. I love her so much. She's like the best person. I mean, I just absolutely adore her.
Have you gotten a reading from Shelby yet?
No, I haven't. I hear her though. I listen to IntuiTalks and listen to her shows and stuff, and I enjoy them.
Oh, she is awesome, Alicia.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I've heard very positive things.
Yeah, she is just freaking awesome.
You don't
Anyway.
recommend I pay? Don't recommend I pay $40 to get Renee Kendall? 90 minutes. I can give it to a friend. I can give it. She's done over 100,000 readings over the last 2.5 years. She says the math does not seem to work out for me, but that's what she claims. She has done.
She's out of her effing mind.
You've got to listen to. You have to listen to my call from today.
I listen, Alicia. I listened and I was like, I couldn't keep listening. I was about to throw up.
It was so funny. I was joking around. Did you heard me call into her show then? I mean, or no? I called into her show today. I'm the last caller, and I was sort of messing with her a little bit. I don't know if you caught it. Did you? You didn't hear it today, right? Not.
No, I didn't hear it. I don't want to
Yeah.
ever listen to her again.
No, you have to listen because I played a little joke on her today. I said to her, I asked her the same question because I told you I want to be a psychic junkie and just ask the question. And so I asked her the same question, but I said it in a funny way. I said like, oh, there's this girl I'm very sexually interested in, and I was wondering, is she interested in me? And then at the end of the call, she said something like, oh, well, as long as she's over 18, she was just trying to joke. And I said, oh, she's not. No, she's under 18. And she said, oh. And I said, no, I'm just joking. But she seemed like she was a little pissy about that. So I don't know. But, yeah.
That's excellent.
Yeah. It was a really funny call. Like I do recommend you you listen to it. I can't believe you would never listen to the show again. I've listened to all the archives. I guess she's done like 253 shows now. I listen to all of them, and I always listen to her show sometimes like 3 times. But of course, I don't sleep all night anyway, so I keep listening over and over again because they're so funny to me. I find her so amusing. And also the variety of guests she takes on too to help her do readings.
I know. I'm sorry, but I can't listen to that shit. You know what I mean?
No, but if you see it as comedy, you can. But
so let's talk about
go ahead.
this girl. This girl that you're
Yeah,
asking about.
let's please. I need your insight.
Okay, so does the name Pepper have anything to do with her?
I don't know. I mean, it could. She had so many different names that she used to call herself back in the day, you know, and I didn't know who the person was, but, you know, I can certainly find out if that means anything.
Okay, yeah, it's something to do with Pepper. Pepper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Anyway, so you've already planned to go somewhere with her on a little adventure, right? Are you going to do that?
Well, she did ask. Are you talking to her? She did ask me yesterday about that. Actually, about going to maybe Colorado with her and some friends or something. But I would kind of rather just since I've only met her the one time, although we did split it up at my house, and you know, she stayed over for a few days, and she met my whole family, and she met my ex-wife. She met Shannon happened to be at the bar we went to. What are the odds? So we walk in, and Shannon's there. It was so freaking weird. So she met my ex-wife. She met my ex-girlfriend. Shannon told me to fuck off when I was there. It's my bar. I'm the one, like, Shannon lives far away. Like, I mean, she lives like a half hour away. Why would she be there? I think she was hoping to see me, really, because she would know that I would go there, you know, but anyway. Right. Anyways, pardon my language. I shouldn't have said the F word on the show. Lord knows you don't. Yeah, so Pepper, I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, she stayed over with me. So we actually are planning for her to come and visit again, in September, I guess, because, it's hard for me because even though I have like over 500 hours of, time off that I've accrued over the years, I hate to take time off because I feel like I'm valued more with the company if I have this persona that I'm a super hard worker and that I never take time off, and I just kind of like to keep it as such. And also, like, my dogs, like, it costs me like $30 each time a dog sitter comes over, and two of my dogs are pretty elderly and unhealthy, and so I mean, Gigi has passed, but, you know, so it's just hard to and then I would also get it would be very expensive it would be like a lot more for me to have to go out there where she lives, because, you know, she lives far away, so in another state. So
she does?
Yeah, she does. Oh. Yeah, she lives in the state of Virginia.
Oh shit. So yeah. What is she doing? She came here specifically to see you.
I bought her a ticket. Yeah, I bought her a plane ticket.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We only So what ended up happening, I'll tell you, is that so on Facebook, when I had taken too much lorazepam one night in July, I wrote on Facebook something like, "I miss Shannon." Now, even and I wish I was never born, something pathetic like that, right? So then I was lying in bed, taking too many lorazepam, trying to not kill myself, but just trying to sleep forever, and probably only like half a bottle or something like that. It wasn't that bad, you know. So anyway, I saw my phone ring at like 8 p.m. and it said Donna, and I thought, oh God, is that my freaking mother? Forget it. And but then I thought, oh my God, maybe it's this other Donna and I was like, no, it couldn't be. But I felt really hopeful, but I hadn't heard from her since 2006, and she had told me, like, contacted me and said, hey, I'm that person from MySpace from 2005, whatever. But it turns out she had contacted me like every year on like the day that we met, she said that she, just really has like, that she felt like I was like, she was in love with, she's younger than me by several years, and she just, I never knew who she was though, she never told me that she liked me. I didn't know,
Right.
So anyway, we just started talking again. What happened was I actually got, a phone call from her. She left me a message, and she says like, hey, pause. It doesn't really say pause, but there's a pause. Hey, it's Donna. And it's like really just the sexiest like voicemail ever. She's like, hey, I just wanted to see, I saw your post on Facebook. Just kind of wanted to see like how, what's going on, whatever. And then we just started kind of being in touch ever since then. And then I got her the plane ticket. So.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And there just happened to be like a gathering that I knew my family members would be at and that I was planning to go to. So I thought, that would be a good time for her to come and it would just be fun to have her meet them, even, whatever. But
Right.
she seemed to be a hit. Everybody really, really liked her a lot. And, not Shannon though. Shannon didn't seem very pleased actually with her. But my ex-wife liked her.
So there's no way you would go back to Shannon?
No, I would not go back to Shannon. Although Shannon, no, I wouldn't. I refused to, go past the 3-year mark with her. I just felt like she didn't make any changes whatsoever. She didn't have a plan. She was never going to get a divorce. She wouldn't even file for divorce. It's really just a waste of my life, just waiting for her to hang out with me like each week, like for like a couple hours where she'd fit me in between her CrossFit and her work. And then she'd always leave and go to CrossFit. And there was never once over the years that she said, "Oh, I'm having such a good time with you. I'm going to stay at your house for another hour." You know, it was always just, "Oh, you know, let me just come over, get off, and then leave." And
Right.
so it really wasn't she was a lot of fun, and you know, we text all day and we talk on the phone, but only we talk on the phone when it was convenient for her when she's driving or whatever. So it's like, she really just, I feel like she didn't, I wasn't a priority in her life. I feel like she always says, you know, that she loved me more than anything and that I'm such a priority, blah, blah. But really, essentially, words are shit and it's actions that really matters to me. So, you know, it's just, I was wasting my time.
I really like Shannon, you know?
You know, that's funny because everybody, it turns out, everybody fucking hated her. Like, my whole family, they're saying like, you know, my brother, they're like, they were like, "Why did you like her?" And I don't know why, but I can't pinpoint exactly what it was about her that I liked, but I did like her, and I do like her. I think she's a good person, but I can't explain why. I trusted her. Not to follow through with being with me, but like I still trust her. Like I trust her, like I would trust her to be in my home and not steal something. Whereas I would not trust my ex-wife to do that. You know what I mean? Like I would trust her with my life. Like I don't think she would ever, like, she's a good, like she's not like a violent person. She's, you know, whatever. She's fun and she's funny and stuff. But really, I think that with her, it was kind of always me as the leader and her kind of just like being sort of a silent tag along sort of person, and it wasn't really a very like equal communicative relationship. She was kind of like, you know, like how stereotypical guys, you know, they kind of sit in the chair and just kind of watch a TV or something. She didn't do that here, whatever, but that's more her personality, is just kind of like sort of, you know, like not really contribute that much. So it's more like just kind of me saying stuff and her kind of laughing, or her making a, you know, remark, but like phone conversations would just be me blabbing on, much like this one. I'm joking, but you know, it's just like she just really didn't talk a whole lot. So I can't even really pinpoint what the hell I liked about her, but I mean, I did like her a lot, but and it was very hard for me to end things, but I had to, because I just felt like I was having no self-respect to continue in that, and I'm very glad that I ended things. Because, and I'm very glad that I took too many learnings with him too, because hey, Donna wouldn't have written me. I wouldn't have written that horrible post, and then I quickly deleted it as soon as I saw it, because I didn't remember having posted it. So maybe Roseanne was telling the truth, you know, who knows?
Yeah. Okay, so Donna, her real name's Donna?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Much like my mother's and much like my middle name.
Okay, so it's interesting she's from Virginia.
Yeah.
And, you know, that might play into, because Virginia is so, well, I'm not going to say what Virginia, I've been to Virginia. I love Virginia.
Well, I already told her I ain't moving there.
No.
I told her that today. I ain't moving there. I told her that even though I lived in Texas and I lived in Georgia for a brief time, that was only ever going to be temporary for me. And it was just, you know, I always planned to move back, and I always wanted to move back to Western Mass, not Eastern Mass, because I prefer Western Mass. You know, I just think it's the best. I heard you talking, you know, I don't want to piss Amy off, but I agree with all your political stuff you were talking about earlier and stuff. You know, I just wouldn't feel that I belong in any place other than, like, I feel like, especially living right near Northampton, where I went to Smith, and just, you know, it's like the lesbian capital of the world. It's like, just, I feel so comfortable here.
Right.
and it's beautiful, and it's open-minded people. It's very smart people for the most part. And yeah, I mean, you might see that Trump sticker sometimes, like you mentioned, and you might want to kick the person's, windows in or whatever, but that's very rare. I think they're usually from another state, like Chicago or, Florida. Just kidding, Amy. I'm kidding. I know Chicago's not a state. I know it's Illinois. I'm just kidding, Amy. I just wanted to try to piss Amy off. She's going to be very mad at me.
Okay, so let's talk about Donna for a second.
My mother, okay?
No, not your mother.
I know, I'm kidding, but no, obviously.
I think it's fantastic that the mother put out that book. I think that's fantastic that she did that.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, yeah. Lovely.
Because I know she's a good writer. I've read her stuff before.
Is she? I didn't read it. Oh, I didn't read it.
I didn't read the book either, but I mean, I'm saying like she's a good writer. She knows, she spells correctly and she knows how to put sentences together. But which is more than most authors do. But anyways,
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I've never really read her stuff. I mean.
So your Donna, does she have? I'm going to ask you a weird question. Does she have a birthmark somewhere on her left thigh? Have you seen a birthmark on her left thigh?
I think I gave her a hickey there, but I don't think I'm joking. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I did see her naked. I don't recall seeing a birthmark though. I did inspect her pretty thoroughly though.
Okay. I'm just trying to really tune into her. She's got a brother, right?
Yes.
Okay. She seems pretty, even though I was like, she's got some doubts about herself and what she's doing and where she's going.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, for sure.
She seems like very, kind of sweet. Like she's got this innocence about her.
Yeah, she does. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad she lives in frickin' Virginia, but, hold on. All right, so are you thinking, and I know you don't want to exactly go away with her at this point, and I don't blame you, but,
I'm not going. I wouldn't move because I spent my whole, I didn't spend my whole, I spent a very brief time in Georgia and in Texas, just from 2004 until 2006. But that was enough. I always wanted to get back here. I've been back here. This is where I want to be. I was driving somewhere. I was driving to urgent care yesterday, and I drove there again today because I'm so sick. I have this awful virus. But anyway, that Donna gave me. It's not the HIV to my knowledge, though. It's just some awful, everything, throat, ear, you name it, awful. But anyway, I was driving through Northampton. I was thinking, oh, I could never leave here. It's just, I feel like it's where I belong. I actually remember around the time that I was first started talking to Donna, but I didn't know if she was a guy or girl or who she was or what. She was only 18 when I started talking to her. I was 25, 26 actually. But yeah, I feel like this is my home, so I certainly wouldn't.
No, but it's not beyond reason that she would actually move to where you are. But
yeah, it's not. I mean, eventually, maybe, but maybe it wouldn't be, and that would be, whatever. But
yeah.
So this, yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I feel like I feel like with Shannon, my past relationship, it kind of because it was so it was me just constantly in wait of her, waiting to see her for 2 hours on a Monday when she would have off every other Mondays, or waiting to see her for 2 hours or 1 hour on a Friday in between her work and CrossFit. So it was a whole lot of waiting. So I feel like that kind of trained me really well for a long distance relationship, because even though she was close to where I live, it was, a distant sort of relationship. I didn't see her very often. She'd only call me when it's convenient for her, that kind of thing. So, so I feel like on my end, I could easily do that because I'm so used to not really being with anybody and just always sleeping alone. I'm used to always being alone. Very isolated, not I'm used to it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I know
On my end.
exactly.
Probably not for her, though. Probably not on her end, though, so.
Well, I
She
don't know if on
more.
her end because I feel like
Yeah.
she's pretty patient and she's not like, she's not overbearing at all. The only thing, cause you're so intelligent and brilliant, I feel,
I agree. Thank
I
you.
feel, yeah, you're welcome. I feel like, she's, that her, how do I put this?
She's a moron.
No, not at all.
I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. I know.
She's not a moron at all.
I
But
know. I'm joking. I know that. I'm joking.
But you do need a strong person with you.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I'm not saying she's not strong enough. That's to be determined. But so I think you're doing the right thing. You're like, you're hanging out with her, you're seeing her a little bit, and then, you'll
well, I don't know
see.
if I'm doing the right thing. I sent her some money today to get another ticket. I don't know if that's the right thing or not, but.
No, that's fine. Then everything we have to do like that's what we're going to do no matter what. So don't worry about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I really would like to see her again. I felt like really comfortable and just like, like we'd known each other for so long, like as if we'd already known each other. And so
I think it's a really good thing. I mean, even though, I did like Shannon, but I understand that whole disconnect there.
I like Shannon too. I mean, I like Shannon very, very much, obviously. I mean, you know that. But yeah, I couldn't continue that. I felt like 3 years was the cutoff point, and I should have really done it at 2 years. It just wasn't giving me what I needed. And essentially the relationship made me feel very badly about myself, undervalued and that sort of thing.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, I think I wouldn't have been as strong as you, Alicia. So I give you props for that.
I'm sure you would have been. I'm sure you would have been a lot. You would have been stronger and dumped the guy or whatever, probably right away. I shouldn't have, because really I've wasted my entire adult life, being stuck in the situation with JJ. I really should have looked into what my legal rights were as far as getting her out of the house, getting a divorce. But I just felt very scared because she would always say, if you get a divorce, I'm getting all your money, and of course she ended up doing just that. But it was worth it, even though, she's now back in my life, even though she's not so, but, I find it's safer for me to keep a friendship connection with her, since she won't, like, if I don't do that, she'll be banging at my door, acting really weird. So it's just better to maintain a friendship with her.
Right. So I think carry on with Donna and get to know her a little bit better. She might be stronger than I think she is, but
she might not be. I think you might be on. I mean, you might be on. I don't really know. Because even though she remembers every single thing about every conversation we ever had back in 2004, 2005, 2006, whatever, and then she, apparently she contacted me like every year on February 11th after that, but by different names. Like I didn't know who, like not by the name Donna, not by like her actual stuff, just by different, like saying like, hey, I'm trying to get you to talk. And but then I guess for the last, like maybe since 2010 or something, she started doing it with like her real name, but Facebook didn't tell me that the person gave me a message unless I was friends with them. So I didn't know until 2016. I guess Facebook somehow told me that I had a message from this person, and I saw it. And then she said, I'm that creep from way back when who was so obsessed with you. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's really you? And she had a real profile with all these pictures, and she's an amazing artist, and she's just like she's very, very talented and like very, very like famous person style, talented, like with her artwork, and I just remember being very fascinated. Yeah, I was really sad in 2016 when she stopped talking to me, because I really do think that I would have like stopped seeing Shannon for her. I felt like very interested when she contacted me, very, very interested, and then she just stopped contacting me. And I remember I was trying to be in touch with her, but she just wasn't talking to me. And I guess it was kind of a mixture of that she started seeing someone, but also because I told her, she asked me if I loved Shannon, and I said yes. And then she kind of just stopped talking to me. So, and then I guess when she saw this new post that I wrote where I miss Shannon, she thought maybe, well, that's my opportunity then, right? So she had just recently gotten out of a relationship, and she saw that, so she called me, and that was just very sweet.
Yeah, no, very sweet. I think she is really sweet. Yeah, she's about your size, Lisa?
Yeah. Maybe an inch or two taller, a couple inches taller.
Okay.
But she's slim, she's fit. Yeah.
She's pretty. I mean, I saw her picture. She's very pretty. Yeah, I say just carry on. And then...
But I'd like her even if she was hideous. I mean, honestly, I liked her when I didn't know if she was a guy or a girl. I still, we didn't flirt or write stuff like that I recall, but I was very intrigued and interested in this person. I used to write them, like, long messages about myself, like, and it was just like this 18-year-old person, like, and I'm so much older, being 8.5, she's the same age as my little brother, she's only 32, and I'm gonna be 41.
Hey, that's nothing. Believe me, that's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I know. I mean, as long as it doesn't bother her. But
it doesn't bother her because she's completely in love with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
So she says.
No, she is. Trust me, Alicia, she is. She really is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, she says that I broke her heart, and that she spent that she thought she was going to die when I stopped talking to her, and that that she failed chemistry because of me, and like so like all kinds of things. I guess she's really felt a lot of hurt over the years by me stopping talking to her. Like, it meant so much to her, the relationship that we had. And I remember being very disappointed too. But again, like I didn't really know, even though I guess at one point she said that she did tell me who she was, and she even sent a picture. I don't know what year that was, but I didn't believe, I know that I didn't believe her, because if somebody just sends me a picture and says, okay, here's who I really am, I'm not going to believe that. Show me an actual profile. Show me your actual pictures from the past. Show me, so like, I probably just disregarded it and was like, okay, so you're sending me a picture of a gal and saying you're this person, what is your name? But she never told me her name until 2016, I guess, when or I guess she tried to earlier, but I didn't get the messages, so. But yeah,
Right.
so you don't think it's going to end in disaster necessarily, that it will be pretty fun and stuff?
No, I think it's gonna be a really, calm, beautiful, connection, and I mean, there's nothing bad I have to say about her as far as I can feel. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well,
nothing
no,
at
really
all.
good. Well,
like that.
when she talked to Renee, before she came out here to meet me, it was the week before, and she asked Renee, she said, oh, so I'm going to be meeting, or I'm supposed to be meeting Alicia, but I guess Donna was thinking about canceling on me. So she got insurance on the lane ticket. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I'm just so sick. And thanks to Donna I haven't been sick since 2004, but this is the first time, and it's just terrible. But anyway, she was going to cancel on me, I guess, because she just, is distant, Virginia, Massachusetts and stuff. But then she said that her friends told her, no, you've got to meet her. And so anyway, she asked Renee, do you think I should go and meet her or whatever? And Renee said, yeah, I guess she encouraged her to at least, see. So I'm glad that she did.
Yeah, because Renee wouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? If she didn't think that it was going to be good.
Yeah, because one time there was this girl in 2016 who really liked me, named Jen, and Jen had a reading with Renee, and she said, so hey, do you think things would work out between Alicia and myself? And Renee actually, this girl told me that this is the words Renee said. Renee said, well, Alicia's very particular. Alicia's very picky. I'm not saying that you're not her type, but, and so the girl knew what Renee meant by that, which is very funny. Like Renee is very honest, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Renee, I guess told Donna to at least still come on and meet me.
Right. And that's a great thing. Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is very, and it's like when I'm looking at you and this whole thing, I'm seeing this set of, like, because I have these old music books where I can't read music sheets, but I see these music sheets, and I know it's like sweet music, you know what I mean? Like, that it's gonna be happy and joyful, and getting to know each other and learn each other's, ways and everything like that. I don't see anything bad about it at all.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that sounds very good. That sounds good. Amy, is that you or is that Tamara back? I thought I heard someone press 1 or press a button or something. I know maybe it was just Corrine, but if I think we get Tamara back. If she's there.
I want to see if Amy has anything. Is Amy there?
I thought she was there.
Amy.
She's probably mad at me because of the Trump thing, but.
No, she's not mad. She doesn't get mad about that.
I'm not mad over the Trump thing. I'm so
thank God.
You all sound like Charlie Brown's kids. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, hi everybody. So the weirdest thing happened to me today. You know that guy who got ousted from Papa John's? I forget his last name, but his name was John, and he was Papa John. Papa John's is headquartered in Louisville. Anyway, I go to pick up Mexican food for dinner, and then I went and sat at the bar, and I was sitting next to him, and then I saw his wife. I was like, well, maybe I just think it's him. But I saw his wife had this really big Louis Vuitton purse that was real. So I was pretty sure it was him. And then I Google searched his wife and looked at her picture, and it was her. So it was him. And we talked for like a really long time. He's my new best friend. And then when I was leaving, like I pretended I didn't know who he was. But we were had so much in common other than he's rich and I'm not. But then when I was leaving, I kind of grabbed his arm and said, it's all going to be all right. It's all like what you said. I love that. I always tell people if you're not to the happily ever after, it's not over. And I was like, it's all going to be fine because he was always I don't quite understand. But he was always very, very generous and very not racist. But then, I don't know, he got caught saying something on a conference call or something and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so that was exciting. That was exciting. If Marie's still here, I had a big day at Goodwill. I found a scarf for 99 cents that sells for $200. And some other stuff. But anyway, I'm here.
So thank God. Papa John guy, yeah, he was caught caught saying the N-word, or I can't remember. It just happened. Right?
You said Colonel Sanders said the N-word or something. I don't really know. I don't know. I can't follow this stuff anymore because I've already had to go to therapy and start taking antidepressants from all of it. So I don't follow this stuff so closely. Like I said, it all sounds like Charlie Brown's parents.
And that's a Trump
do you
supporter
know,
for you.
do you know a Marjorie, Amy?
Do I know a Marjorie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I got to think of who it is. Yes.
But you know her well?
No.
Okay, forget it. Because this Marjorie is like somebody that's prominent to someone. I don't, probably no one here, but I'm just curious. I had to ask. But I also want to ask Alicia, is Donna's real name, did her mother name her Madonna, is what I want to know.
That's really funny. I was actually thinking, excuse me, I was actually thinking about that yesterday, that the name Madonna is, such a neat name, but, no, actually her father chose the name Donna. So it's not Madonna, but that would be a very cool name, and then I wouldn't have to also say my mother's name in the sack, which is awkward.
Corrine, did you see in the chat, Diane has a close relative, Marjorie. Diane.
Yeah. So I'm what? Yeah, Diane. So does this Marjorie have brown shoulder-length hair at one point? I don't know. Because I was asking my mother and father to give me some, and that name Marjorie, that's the only thing that came through was Marjorie. And I'm like, well, what about Marjorie? Is she having issues with something right now, Diane? Like, shit. I'm trying to get something more. Have you talked to her recently? I mean, you know how she's doing. Parents, work, boyfriend. Okay. But nothing health-wise, Diane? Yes. Okay. All right. So we'll come back to. I'm going to come back to that because I'm going to think more about it. But you guys go ahead. Sorry. I don't know. But anyways, you guys go ahead. Sorry. Amy and Melissa.
I'm muted again. I don't really have much. I don't really have much to say. I don't have much to say. I just have.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I went on vacation. Next week, I'm now in Louisville. Next week, I'm going to Denver. I'm really excited about going to Denver because I want to try those marijuana gummy bears. And then the weekend after that, I'm going to Seattle because it's Take Your Parents to Work Day at Amazon. And, which is like a really big, people come from all over the world because they have they have a biosphere. And we get to meet Jeff and thank him for the stock price hitting $2,000 a share. So I don't have to kill myself when I get old.
Right, exactly.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Anyway, so I have and I went on Wellbutrin. I will say this, I went on Wellbutrin and I didn't realize I was so depressed. I did not realize I was so depressed. I should have known I was depressed because, I'd become fairly, I didn't go out on the weekends. But it's interesting because when you're depressed and you're alone, there's no benchmarks to, it'll be interesting to see how this works out.
Yeah.
Are you eating a lot?
What?
With Wellbutrin, you want to eat a lot. You're always hungry.
No.
Is that true?
No,
you're not hungry.
No,
it's a little bit.
You wouldn't be. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Use it for weight loss. But it's made such a difference, I can't even freaking explain it.
It is good. Yeah, I was on it back in 2016, and I started to bite my tongue in my sleep, and I didn't know why. I didn't know it was related, but it turned out I was having seizures actually from it. And it did work well for me, though. It's the only antidepressant that did work well for me. However, I had seizures on it one day. I was at the gym, and I was on the elliptical, and I woke up surrounded by police people and other people, paramedic people or whatever, and I guess I had a seizure at the fitness center. It's so embarrassing, and I was in, I don't know if any, I know that your Wednesday night guest on the show has seizures, but I know that when I had the seizure, I was in a state of I felt like a wild animal. I felt so afraid. I remember that I didn't really, my brain wasn't there, and so they said do you know what day it is? And I remember not knowing and feeling very afraid. So I was very defensive or very angry. And so I remember I couldn't think of what day it was, and I said, of course I know what day it is. Get the fuck away from me. And I was really so pissed off at them that they were all around me. I felt so scared. And they said, what's your name? And I was like, shut up, I know my name. Leave me alone, go away. I didn't know what was going on. They're like, ma'am, you had a seizure. I was like, I didn't have a fucking seizure. I was so mad. Anyway, it was very embarrassing because it was just, because I remember it so well, but I remember being out of it too. So it's weird, the seizure makes you, totally not, that was my most embarrassing moment. And I had the biggest bruise on my ass. I was lucky I hit my head when I fell, or whatever, or wasn't driving when I had a seizure, but I guess it's pretty rare that it causes that, but it can, so I can't be on it.
Yeah, I had problems the last time I was on it as well, but I was desperate. I was desperate. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's important that you feel better. It's important that you feel better right now, Amy, and you do, right?
Yeah, it's more important that I feel better. I don't care I don't want to say I don't care if I have a seizure.
Yeah, I understand because it does help so much. I know.
But I would, but I have limited options because I'm not allowed to kill myself this time down here. And I was absolutely miserable, and people tell me I suck all day because of because I exercised my right to vote. So yeah, it was pretty much the end of the road. So a seizure, you guys, I had to, so be it.
Right. So Kathleen's calling in. I asked Kathleen to call in, and Kathleen might have a thought about your relationship, Alicia. That's why I asked Kathleen to call in. Well, no, that's not.
Wait, you mean your usual Wednesday night? Oh my gosh, Kathleen is here?
Yes. Wait,
yeah,
who's 330? Who's 330?
I am.
Oh, you're there.
Kathleen.
Okay, so I don't have to. I'm going to mute myself because there's too many people.
Oh, well, okay. Kathleen Moore, is this really you?
Yes.
Welcome. Hi, it's Alicia. I need to interview you sometime.
Hi, Alicia. How are you?
I'm doing well. I enjoy listening to you on the show very much. I'm open to anything you may have. I'm so glad you called in.
Oh, well, I didn't know I was calling in to give a reading. I'm still kind of sick, but.
I thought Corrine just said that. Corrine, what a jerk you are. You're so mean. I thought you just said that. You setting her up?
But if you want,
That's
I don't mean
nothing. You don't have to say a damn thing. Kathleen.
Every time there's a psychic medium in the room, I'm like, call in, and then I'm like, give her a reading.
Well, I don't want to.
It's not Wednesday night.
Well, and it's okay. It's okay that it's not Wednesday night. I just was enjoying listening to Corrine give some readings. But I mean, if you have a question, I can do my best to tap into that. Hey, did you lose a dog recently?
Yeah.
There's a dog around you, very, very strong.
Yeah, I did lose a dog recently.
And who's the dark-haired man with a really short mustache?
My father.
Okay, so he steps up. Is he passed? Because he steps up with this dog.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he does.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
And he keeps telling me that you need to, was he no nonsense? Was he like really no nonsense? Like he was a straight shooter? Because he keeps saying, your responsibility is your happiness. Quit looking for it in everybody else's hands. Find it within yourself first, and everything else will fall into place.
Okay.
And he says that you have this beautiful energy about you, and you just, it's almost like you fight it. Like you almost fight the glow that you have. And he says you seek out people that need the same things fixed in them that you feel that you need fixed. And he says you can't fix them until you fix you.
Wow, that's really true.
And that's what he's saying. But
that's 100%. It's 100% spot on. Yeah, actually, it's completely. It makes perfect sense. Couldn't be any better.
So if you're going to continue to do that, he keeps saying, the way he's putting it, the way I'm connecting to it is he keeps saying, if you're going to continue to pick people like that, you have to ask yourself, what would work on me to heal me?
Yeah.
So, and then go about it that way. But he gives me the impression that you have a pretty decent relationship coming up. So if you're in one currently, that could mean that there's, some reconnection or evolving going on. But I actually see it as a whole new relationship.
Yeah.
He's showing me a whole new relationship.
Yeah. I don't know if you heard my call into Corrine earlier, but yeah.
I didn't hear all of it because I have a new puppy and she's very rambunctious, so.
Yeah. Well, she better calm down because she's going to be, what is she going to be like in a hospitals or something or doing something? Like,
we're going to be part of the Doggy Brigade, which is for Children's Hospital and for, patients that are bedridden. And she's a Great Dane, so she'll be at bed level so they can pet her and do that, but she's very rambunctious. I forgot the stress level of a puppy.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful that you're doing that, though. That's so nice. Yeah.
Well, I'm doing it for me as well because I've become very isolated in the last few months, so.
Yeah. And you've been suffering, you've been sick too, right? You've been sick too lately. I think I heard you say. You're getting over.
I've had the flu, and pneumonia. I'm just getting over it now. So that's why I sound kind of like a hot drag queen on a Friday night is what I sound like right now.
Well, you sound good. I actually, I've been very sick, with some kind of virus, but yeah, I just recently met somebody, new, but really it's somebody who's from my past who, I never knew who they were. We would correspond over, MySpace, like Facebook, many moons ago, and I never knew the person's identity, but she knew my identity. I didn't know really if it was a girl or a guy or who it was, but I know that I really enjoyed talking to the person, so I used to tell the person like all kinds of random stuff about myself and just write the person a lot. But then when I met the person I ended up marrying, she was my wife was very, very jealous and so forth that I was writing this other person, and so she, kind of had a fit, and then I stopped talking to the person, and I guess the person told me who she really is and sent me a picture of him. I don't remember that, and I thought it was just a random person, just random, like, just saying, oh, here's who I am, but they didn't have any kind of a page to back it up or anything, or any back photos or a real name.
Right.
So, I guess she's been trying to contact me over the years, and she successfully did so in 2016, but then, I was in a relationship, and so, it didn't, I guess she asked me if I loved the person. I said yes, and then she kind of fell off the face of the earth. So, but then recently she saw a pathetic post that I posted in July on Facebook where I took too many lorazepam and I wrote something ridiculous like well, it was true, but I wrote like I miss Shannon and the person I broke up with, and I said, you know, something like I wish my parents never had me, or something stupid like that. I didn't even remember having done it, but she called me in response to that, and so we've just been in touch. And then I met her in person on the 16th, and you know, she lives out of state though, so that's the thing.
So do you feel good about it, Catherine? Because I do.
Yeah, I do. I really do. I feel good about Alicia in general. I think your energy and your vibration is much higher than you think it is. And, I mean, who hasn't posted shit like that on Facebook, right? So, I mean, you're normal.
Not many people.
Are you kidding? Come on.
I deleted it right after. I deleted it.
I was going to say, people post it too. They just delete it faster than you. That's all.
Yeah. So, well, the best thing I ever did, it was great. It was good actually because then it got, you know, she contacted me and she left me like, I have these couple of voicemail messages that mean so much to me. I have this one from Renee Richards from 2015 when, I was going through like this awful experience with my ex-wife and, Renee left me a voicemail. I was just listening to it the other day, and she's just so kind in it and says that, you know, that she cares about me and loves me and it's just the sweetest. You can tell that she's so sincere and it's something that I'll save forever and really, really cherish so much. And the voicemails that this girl left me, the couple of voicemails, they mean so much to me too. They're similar, you know, in the sort of kindness that she's showing and caring and compassion.
Sure.
And that's what I care about most in the world is love and compassion, and that's what I live for. That's I don't care about like, you know, selling a house or whatever the hell. You know, I just care about
love is limitless. It's amazing how many of us have put a cap on love, you know, and love is limitless. And so many people have done that. They've put a cap on it or put it in a jar and say, oh, it's only so much love, but they'll allow a lot of negative energy and you know, stuff in over and over again and not put a limit on that. So, you know, there's three things that are limitless, and that's love, hope, and faith. And depending that, you know, faith doesn't always have to be the religious aspect of it, you know, and it's just like what Amy was saying, you know, she you know, she says, oh, I took care of what I need to do so I can, you know, feel better. And that's taking responsibility for her happiness. And that's, you know, we should all be that brave. In my opinion, that's courage and integrity to say it out loud.
No, 100%. And you know, Amy was talking about the Wellbutrin and how, you know, she did that and, you know, she didn't really know she was depressed. Well, I have something interesting. So I for years have been taking, Adderall. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's, you know, a stimulant.
Yeah.
So anyway, I take that every day and I'm very, I always have felt like I tried it once in college because someone gave me a pill, but I have a prescription of it because it always made me feel really together and really, like just confident and made me feel good. It almost, to me, it always felt like it works like sort of as an antidepressant. Well, the last couple of days, I've never in my life forgotten to take it because it's always something that I'm super obsessed with because it makes me feel confident and happy. And I always feel like I'm depressed if I don't take it. Well, the last 2 days I forgot to take it. I've never forgotten to take it in my life, and I've been on it for several years. And so I feel like the new relationship, even though it's long distance and stuff, like I feel like it kind of gives me something that I feel like fulfilled and sort of happy in a way that I haven't felt in a really long time. Anyway.
I really, I feel a pretty high vibration from you right now. I think you're going in the right direction. I think everything that happened the last 4 months happened because of universe's timing.
Yeah.
Of aligning you with where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be with and how it's supposed to be. Love's easy, you know? It's not.
Yeah.
So, and as, you know, like I said, it's a Facebook post, well, crap. I mean, everybody go through mine and see, I see mine pop up in my memories, and I'm like, oh, we better delete that.
Well, I'm so impressed that you know, my father came through to you, and I don't know if the dog, you know, I'm thinking the dog was probably Gigi. I don't know, but
the dog loves you very, very much, but they both stepped forward together. The dog.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. And yeah, that was definitely my father with the short mustache.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was definitely, he showed me the dog. The dog kept telling me that the dog wouldn't have gone home, if you weren't ready. So, and if you weren't going to be okay, that's what the dog keeps telling me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think so too.
Yeah, remember, well, I'm not even going to bring it up because we're still recording. Forget it. I'm not going to say it.
About Gigi and the purple plate?
No.
I don't think we are recording. I'll stop the recording if I can figure out how to.
Okay, good. That's, yeah, you can figure out how to. No, I was getting, Alicia, I was going to make a snarky comment about
Hold on.
something.
Oh, wait. Here, I did it.
Maybe it's good that somebody knows how to do it, because I don't know how to do any of that shit.
Thank you, listeners. But we have to take it offline because I feel some swear words coming. Good night. Thanks for listening to Curious Times.